So, ready? All right, guys, welcome back to another Speak On It interview. I got my man, Maxwell Murray. That's the Maxwell smooth guy. Y'all already look like that. Anybody with the name Maxwell's got to be a similar guy. You know what I mean? Like, just look at it, right? We go suave. No, I'm messing with y'all. We got Maxwell Murray, man. He's, first of all, we're here to talk about, well, not really talk about, but he's here about for what represented his podcast and his Maxwell Murray company with his headbutt his last dress shirts on right now. You know what I'm saying? Looking sweet. He said, like he didn't want to talk too much about it, but while Robert on it, just why dress shirts? I just wanted to ask that real good. Why dress shirts?
Good question.
And these are the dress shirts.
So like for me, I like wearing dress shirts in like casual settings. You know, I'd be doing business and like go to photo shoots, but then also like go out in New York. You know, go out to the club and stuff. So I wanted something versatile, something business casual, something I could wear while creating something at the same time, something I could wear at night in the evening on a date or like out to the clubs. And so I wanted to just make like a business casual dress shirt, super inspired by like kimonos and belongs to like my Southeast Asian culture, and just wanted to build something versatile, comfortable, and something wavy, like something fly that you could rock for like dress shirts with two steps. So just kind of took a swing at it, and here we are.
For sure. Okay, it's looking sweet, bro. Looking sweet. And like you said, business, man. You attended at NYU. You know, said one of the most prominent business schools in the country. Just let's start there for what is that like? Being able to attend a university and this institution like that where you're able to gain a lot of this business knowledge.
I think like going to NYU opened my eyes up to like another side of the world. You know what I mean? When you grow up in one space, especially like in the suburbs in Maryland, like you always see life from that point of view. So moving to New York, moving to the city, being 18, knowing nobody in a new city, especially a big city like New York, it opens your eyes up to like how other people live, what life could be like in other realities. And so like it was cool getting to go to NYU, getting to find myself there, getting to figure out like what I like to do, like who I really am. You know, I always grew up playing basketball, and NYU was the first time like I wasn't doing that. So it's like, all right, like who are you? Like what do you want to do? And like what do you want to learn? Where do you want to go with this? So yeah.
For sure. Like you say, you play basketball, man. This is a little secret. Me and Maxwell played with each other back in the day. Without you about like, I'm pretty like a year or two older than you. I think, Max.
You're a year older.
You're older. Okay. Yeah. I played with them back in the day, Lower Laker days. So if you know, you know. But what talk about just the basketball? Because you played point guard. Did that playing point guard kind of give you a sense of like leadership and direction for you to be able to take on, like you said, 4 businesses and then even go towards the NYU, kind of, one to branch off and do that thing on your own? Like, did you take some of those qualities from being that point guard and into applying it into being
100%? Yeah, like when I was 6, I was like the starting quarterback for my football team, and then like growing up, yeah. So no, but that's part of it. You know what I mean? So like playing quarterback, playing point guard, like being the one that touches the ball and has to run the show, like. You learn that, first of all, like, you got to hold yourself to a standard, right? Mm-hmm. You got to show up to the party at all times, right? So, like, when it's being a leader, it's like being a lion. Like, you have to be someone that other people on your team respect so that y'all can move forward, especially if we're out here trying to go after the same mission. And so, yeah, bro, I like the level of work, the mentality to get better, the hunger to get better, to play the game of other people, to be the best version of you in your position so that everybody else can eat in their positions and do what they want to do. It's super important. And like basketball, sports, football, basketball, business, they're all the same thing in the mentality of things, the discipline, the habits, and the will to continue to get better and be a competitor. Like you always, that then carries through.
For sure. Yeah, and what do you kind of carry that competitiveness within your business sometimes? I know, so like, we try to say that, we're not competing, but like, I know there's times where you may feel that just that kind of a different sense of fire within you because, it's like, I know I have to do something greater than what I'm doing right now. And is that where your competitiveness comes in?
Yeah, yes, 100%. Business is a team sport. It's a competitive sport. And like, the people that are winning in business are providing the most value to the marketplace. In business, it's a sport where like money is the scoreboard And so if you're providing more value to the marketplace, you're making more money. And so it's a competition with yourself and competition with the other people in the industry selling the same things that you're selling in order to get market share, in order to be the go-to product. Like for me, I'm not competing with no fashion brands or no one else, but I'm competing with other people that sell dress shirts. Right. Because like if you're a shopper, you're going to look for dress shirts, like you buy me or you buy somebody else. So you buy Calvin Klein or you buy Ralph Lauren or you buy Brooks Brothers. So it's like, how can I be the best in what I do? How can I sell a product that's better than everything else on the market? And how can I put it in front of enough people so that everybody sees that product? So like, that's really like, business is a competitive sport because either you're eating or your competitor's eating. And so like, you need to become the best version of yourself to win.
So like you said, the business is a competitive sport. I like that. What you said, no, the money's the scoreboard. You know, that's a bar. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me touch on that.
That's a bar.
See, in business, right? In ideas, in creativity, and art, it's not about making money to live like some lavish lifestyle with APs and Rolexes and Lambos.
Right.
It's about making money to be able to put into your ideas. Like, the more money you make, the more power you have to put behind your ideas, the more you can execute greater things. So, like, if you can't start a rocket company in a garage because you don't have enough money to build the capability to be able to do that. So, like, money is the scoreboard, but money also is power to go and build the next product that revolutionizes the world. So it's like, on your first business, maybe you shouldn't take that big swing where you're trying to, like, I seen someone post something that they were like in your first business, you shouldn't take your grand slam swing because you don't have the money and the resources to be able to handle that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, I'm just trying to build up my craft, build up my skills, build up my businesses to the point where I have enough money to deploy. When the right opportunity comes, I can go attack that industry and shake that up. So like, that's why money is important. Money is important so that it keeps your ideas alive and it helps you breathe new ideas into the world.
So no, that's real shit, man. Trust, you know. And I feel like, you know, especially for us young men, right? Like we're always trying to get to that money. We're always trying to find ways to get to that money. How have you ever felt, or have you what's it like for you seeing, you know, people kind of compromise themselves along that journey, right? Because we're still like we're like you said, we're young, and I know a lot of people in our age range, have probably, you know, that felt that the urgency, or the fake pressure that comes with that. I need to have this money right now. So talk about, you know, what it's like for the money for you. Like, what's your goal? Yeah, you know, having some type of.
It's a good question. So like, I want to live a life where I get paid to do stuff that I would do for free. So, like, when I sat there and I thought about, like, I wrote down in my journal, like, what would I do if money didn't exist? And on that list was have a podcast. On that list was make a dress shirt, because I just wanted a dress shirt myself. So I just want to get paid to do the things I would do for free. And so through that, like, I feel like that's like that golden length. Like, right. What would you do if money didn't exist? Because if you go and do things for money, you'll probably fail. You'll probably fall, because when stuff gets tough, you're not gonna carry through with that, because you're not passionate about it, or you're chasing the wrong thing, right? So like, it really is just, life's just about like how can I get paid to do stuff that I would do for free, and how can I do what I do right now in my craft at such a high level that I can do that full time. Like, that's kind of what the dream is. So it's like, that's how I look at it. So like, for me in business, like, I build products that I want. And so like, because of that, like, I don't really care if I sell it or not. Like, maybe somebody else will want it, maybe they won't, but like, I build stuff I want for free, and then I try to market that and sell it so that I could get paid for doing something that I would do for free, you know?
That's life, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. Like, That's why I've talked about it lately about, just figure out what you're passionate about and what your purpose is. So you just talked about pretty kind of what your passion is. Do you feel like you understand what your purpose in life is yet? I know we're still young. Do you feel like you understand what your purpose in life is yet, though?
Yeah, I do. See, the problem with that is, like, I've always said, like, no matter what, like, my dream is to be a Fortune 500 CEO. The problem with that is that it limits my actual potential in life. If I box myself into being a Fortune 500 CEO is my dream, and I may limit the realm of possibility that I have in life. So, like, as I've continued to go through and pursue other things, I learned that, like, the labels that you tell yourself are so important. And if you tell yourself that you're a businessman, and you tell yourself that you're an artist, if you tell yourself you're an artist, maybe you identify with the fact that you don't really, like, care about the money or whatever. If you tell yourself you're not a good video editor, then you're not gonna go and get better at video editing.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, like, identity is important. So, like, as I've gone and as I've pursued my dreams in order to try to become a Fortune 500 CEO, I learned that in reality, all I ever want is to reach my full potential. By the time I leave this earth, I gave it all I had. I wrote the books, I did the podcast, I did the speaking engagements. Maybe I made a movie, maybe I made a clothing brand, maybe I made a business, so it's like, stop limiting yourself by giving yourself a defined destination. Pick a destination that you can never reach because it's an internal satisfaction. And that's, for me, just trying to figure out how I can reach my full potential and learn whatever that is.
That was a strong point, as I just mentioned to you, man. Just not putting yourself in confinement. And I know, probably you stepping into this journey for yourself, you may have seen, or you may have received some type of, potentially received some type of, like, backlash for it, or just not as support early on. Like, did you kind of embrace or witness that, or have to deal with, people not, or asking, like, why is Maxwell, that he was this athlete that he grew up, and now he wants to be this fashion guy, or wants to be, the dress shirts, excuse me, and is reading books and all that. What's all that about? Did you get any of that?
I think, like, in life you have to do stuff for yourself. Like, you can't take, like, a huge thing, like, the biggest way you can kill yourself is by living life based on other people's opinions and other people's judgments, right? Caring too much about what other people think about you will completely limit your possibility in this world. So you have to find what you want to do for yourself. Like, you have to find what keeps you motivated, what keeps you going, what keeps you driving, why you want to do what you want to do,
right?
What you want to do. And, like, go after what you want to do. And, like, when you do that, when you go after your dreams, you're going to be misunderstood. And it's okay to be misunderstood. Like, people are not supposed to understand you. They don't have your dreams. They don't have your passions. They don't have your ambitions. So, like, in reality, like, all you really have is what you want to do. And so, like, go and carry that out and be misunderstood. Be crazy. Be someone that people are looking at like, why is he doing that? You don't have to do that, bro. But at the same time, like, that's what life really is. It's about finding what you want to do and finding what you want to do at a very high level and going after your dreams at the highest level possible. Like, that's truly what I believe. I'm like, I don't believe that I live for anybody else. So, like, I don't expect other people to understand me. I don't always expect other people to like me. You know what I mean? Because I know who I am when inside, and that's all that matters.
Let's go. You're 22 years old, and you well spoken, right? Does that I've seen, at least lately, not lately, ever since I followed you, you've always been into books or in reading. What is the value in that for you? What is it like being someone that you find value and joy just all cracking open a book?
So Kobe has this quote, and he said, "Once I found my perspective, the world became my library to help me get better at my craft." once I found the perspective of I want to be the best entrepreneur that I can be, books and every single thing I see in life becomes a library for me to get better at my craft. So when I'm searching for answers, I sit back and realize that other people have gone through what I'm going through right now. Let me hear what they have to say about this. You know what I mean? If I want more discipline and consistency in my life, there's books about that. If I want to learn sales, marketing, if I want to learn how to build a product, if I want to learn how to build a company, how to start a podcast, if I want motivation, if I want inspiration, if I want to learn about the meaning of life, so many people over the last 2,000 years have written books about their experiences, their life. And you can't talk to all those people, but you can read books and listen to what they have to say. And so for me, like growing up, bro, I never read any books because I never had a perspective in which I wanted to learn from. Now every day I try to learn and gain knowledge and add to my skill set so I can provide more value to the world. And books help me do that because they speed up the process in which I'm making mistakes. So I'm able to course correct. So like for me, bro, it's all about learning, growing, and getting better at your craft. And books have helped me figure out or become aware to certain things I wasn't aware to before. And that's helped me get better in my craft.
For sure, man. That's dope, man. I personally need to get back into reading a little bit more. I'll be honest, right? I'm trying to figure out what's out there for me in that same sense of like finding something to learn from, a perspective to learn from. So you know, I definitely feel you on that.
And it's not like it's not like you have to read. Like I watch movies. I watched The Dark Knight the other day,
correct.
And he said like there's this quote in the Dark Knight that's like it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that really matters. Like you can have the greatest intentions in the world, but if you're not doing good things out into the world, then that it doesn't matter. So like I'll watch a movie like The Dark Knight and think about how that relates to me being an entrepreneur, because like I said, like everything I see, touch, or feel or experience like helps me become better at my craft. So like it's not like you should read books or you should watch movies. It's like, how can I continue to grow and evolve and learn as a person? That's all that really matters.
Yeah, for real. That's dope. And is that what is exactly your message for your podcast? Now let's kind of talk about your podcast a little bit before we start wrapping up. What is your message for your podcast? And like, especially being a young person, having, this kind of mindset, what is your message for your podcast?
Yeah. So my podcast is called The Game of Power. And it's about taking back the power over your own life so that you could elicit power into the world. See, like, you cannot do anything on the outside if you're not taking care of on the inside.
For sure.
If you haven't taken control or power over your own life, you're not able to elicit power into the world.
Right.
So the game of power is about the fearlessness, the relentlessness, the resilience, the consistency, and the discipline to become better at your craft and become solid on the inside so that you can go and create fantastic things that completely change the world, that change the way people see the world, that change the way people operate and function and move in the world, that change how the world even works, so that when you put this product on the earth, people can't even remember what life was like before that. So like, you cannot do any of that stuff. You can't make great music. You can't make great clothes. You can't make great businesses. You can't make a great podcast if you don't take control over your own life internally. So like, everything is about being solid on the inside. And like, when you can do that at eye level, you can do anything that you want in this world.
For sure. And just hearing you speak on that a little bit, it's also just that transfer of energy, you know what I mean? Because like in science, right, I've been teaching lately, but I don't teach science, I teach math, but I just know that there's always a transfer of energy. Energy isn't created or it can't die. So it's like, whether you're whatever state of life you're in, right? You could be down bad or just feeling like everything's against you, but just within, like you said, yourself and just how you view it. I've also talked about perception being reality on my podcast in the past, right? That's a way for you to be able to kind of just change the overall mindset of your situation. Just if you're able to just find that one sense of like, hope or just whatever that one sense of passion they get, right? You can be able to turn your life around within that same energy, right?
Let me add on to your point. I know I talked about identity before, but like, I believe when you change your identity, you change your habits and you change your world. So like, everything starts with identity, right? What labels do you think about yourself? What labels does society give you? And then it's like, okay, I can pick what labels now I choose to identify with. Maybe like, there was literally one time like I was down bad and I was like, bro, my businesses are failing, like I'm failing. And I wrote a T-chart. And on the left, I had all of the like labels that I identified with that I did not want to identify with. And on the right, I wrote down all labels that I did want to identify with. And I chose to pursue the labels on the right. And because of that, if I identified with being a better student, then I put in the habits to actually go to class, to study, to listen to the teacher, to not go on my computer while I'm in class. And so like, when you change your identity, you change your habits, and then you change your world. Everything from there changes. So like, if you're stuck somewhere and maybe you're like, I'm not a motivated person, or I'm not a disciplined person, or maybe I'm not an athlete, or I'm not a creative, I'm not an artist, I'm not a businessman. The moment you tell yourself, you know what, I am going to identify with that label, everything will change for you. That's what I truly believe.
For sure. Absolutely. That's real. This powerful message for young brother right here today.
That makes sense, because like you talked about energy can't be destroyed, or it can't be like it's transferred. The energy in which I put towards being undisciplined, I can put towards being disciplined.
Yep. Literally. That's it. And that's just accountability in life, right? We have to be able to hold ourselves accountable in that sense as well. You know what I mean? Because like you just said, you're able to admit that you've had times where your businesses have been failing. So that's why you created this chart. How much do you hold yourself accountable to the things that you carry yourself in life? How much accountability?
Oh, bro, so much. Like I'm my own biggest critic, and like that's what objectively being self-aware about what I'm doing has helped me get to where I need to go. I think journaling really helps with that. I'm a big advocate for journaling, because then you can sit down and put out your thoughts on the paper. You can see what you're thinking and how you're feeling at the moment, and you're able to move accordingly. I think like hold yourself to a high standard, you know what I mean? And like make sure that you're following through with what you said you were going to do. And I think like for me, bro, my happiness comes from executing ideas. If I have an idea that I have, and like maybe it's building a dress shirt, like my happiness comes from like taking something from my head and bringing it out into the world. And like all I want people to know is like your dreams can come true. Like your ideas can become inventions. If you just take action, if you're resilient, if you're okay with failing, you're okay with the scientific experiment that entrepreneur is. I have a problem. Maybe I have a hypothesis on how I want to solve that problem. I'm going to test that solution. It may or may not work. Maybe I persevere with that. Maybe I pivot, and then I keep going. And see, at that point, you never fail, because everything in life at that point is a scientific experiment in which you just ask yourself a question. You propose a potential solution to that question, and you learned because of it. So like, if you ever put out music, or you ever put out a fashion collection, or you ever start a business that fails, that's an opportunity for you to take a step back and learn from your failures and see how you can do it better the next time, so that you're more prepared. That makes sense though, right?
That makes a lot of sense. Like I see you're definitely someone that's probably gonna have a lot of like, who the hell? This young guy just talking all this game, all this knowledge. Like you definitely have shown, you've been around. Like, have you spent a lot of time around people older than you in your life?
I don't think it's about that. I think like a lot of everything I'm saying comes from the fact that I decided to chase my dream. And when I decided to chase my dreams, I took a step closer to who I really am. And so along the journey of me chasing my dreams, I faced so many different obstacles that have smacked me in the face and that have put me on my ass. And so to continue to come up, like when you're in the arena, and you're fighting for what you believe in and you're fighting for what you love, then the battle and the war that you go through helps you become a better person and helps you bring yourself closer to who you truly are. And so like a lot of times it's not about you reaching the destination more so than it's about what type of person you become on the journey. And like that's huge, bro. That's huge. And like when you're chasing your dreams, you're seeing this vision, you're seeing this destination that you want to reach so bad. And a lot of times it's hard to like take that step back to turn around and see how far you've come. It's hard to take a step back and think, damn, maybe where I am right now is the dream.
Right. Seriously. Yeah.
If you're out there right now, and you're making music, if you're out there right now and you're making clothes, you're starting businesses, you're pursuing your dreams, but then why are you unhappy? Well, it's maybe because you think when I achieve X, then I'll be happy. But in reality, bro, you're doing it right now. So appreciate where you are right now and try to get better at what you're doing right now.
Man, appreciate that journey. Appreciate that process.
Oh, there is.
You know, because if like you said, I feel like what you said, like if you're so focused on this absolute ending, right? It's like the absolute that I feel like a lot of people are trying to achieve or trying to get to, versus being a part of really embracing the process and the progress of which you are getting towards this absolute that you're trying to achieve anyway, right? I feel like people get lost in that I need to have it right now, right? I need to do it right now.
Check this out. I wrote to myself in the journal one morning, if I was exactly where I wanted to be, if I was that Fortune 500 CEO, what would I wake up and do? I would wake up at 6 a.m., I'd go to the gym, I'd probably journal, read a little bit, and then I'd get to work all day. And so I said, well, why can't I do that right now? And if I am doing that right now, then why am I not successful? And it's like, it's about redefining success. A lot of people define success based on outputs. I define success based on inputs. Success is not getting 1 million views on a video. Success is posting a video. Success is not about selling out your dress shirt collection. It's about making a dress shirt collection. Right? Because if you did get to that point, maybe you do get to that absolute point. Like, and I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, but like, a lot of people want it to come easy.
That's real.
They want it to come easy. You start that business, your first business, you're 21 years old, and you become a millionaire. But like, if it was that easy, if it was that certain, why would you do it? Right? If you didn't have to persevere, if it wasn't hard, if it didn't seem like it would be some type of impossible feat, if it wasn't the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life, why would it be worth doing?
Would it? It wouldn't be worth doing.
Right?
It just wouldn't be worth doing. That's just straight up. Wouldn't be worth doing. And like, you know, just within that, like, you know, I'm honestly thinking about that a lot lately. You know, just being able to do something for me and myself, and like being able to say that I did it my way. You know, there's a different, you know, swag that comes with that. You know, too. Like, and it's not like, you know, and within this journey, right, a lot of people may call, you know, you cocky or arrogant or whatever, but no, you're just confident, right? And you're confident in the fact that, you know, like you're saying, even though I'm not at this CEO level of making 6 figures today, I'm going to carry myself that same way, building a consistent pattern, right? Consistency. And then until when I get there, by the time I'm getting there, I'm already in my flow. So it's not like it's something new to me. It's just now I have more of the resources that
I just have more resources to work with. I got more ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. No, that's real, man. That's real. You're young, man. You looking into dating and love before we get out of here, man?
That's a good question. I mean, bro, I'm so inspired by women. Like, that's a lot of the reason why I do what I do, right? Who isn't? Like, you gotta have things that inspire you, bro. And like, for me, like, I'm extremely inspired by women, and, like, I just try to, like, become the best version of myself and, like, make sure that I'm solid on the inside and on the outside so that I can support that type of lifestyle. So, like, yes, bro, I'm extremely inspired by women, and, like, I do a lot of what I do because of women. And at the same time, like, it also helps me because I become the best version of myself. You know what I mean? If women weren't around, bro, I probably wouldn't be the best version of myself. What I'm doing, you know what I mean? So, like, yes, bro, I'm unapologetic about this.
Unapologetically, man. He's a ladies' man. I told you that's why he got them dress shirts on, y'all. He told y'all for the dates. Come holler at him, man. Y'all see him, man. Y'all see, just know, tell them where they can find you so y'all can set that up.
Yeah.
Those dates and everything, man.
Maxwell Murray Co. You can also hit my line. Just DM me. You know what I mean? See you soon. You can also catch me at the club. I'll be there.
Maxwell, smooth guy.
Time,
appreciate you, man. Appreciate your wisdom, even though, you know, like I said, we're young dudes, man. Young people trying to attack this lane is just the beginning for us. And, you know, before we go, I wanted to bring up, you know, just and this is part of my game to give to you too a little bit before we go on to your platform at some point. Just understanding that, you know, it's a new lap every time you get to it. Like, you feel like you're at a low point of something, right? So part of the reason why I'm here at Double M, right? Shout out to everyone at Double M again, of course. But talking with Bees, man, Boss Bees, and I'm starting to get to a point where I was starting to feel my confidence was like kind of wavering a little bit. But he kind of, you know, reassured me and reaffirmed me that, you know, you're just in a brand new lap in the same race and on the same game. So, you know, you're gonna go through, you know, that one lap may be easy, like you said, and it may feel easy, but then that next lap comes around and now there's new obstacles that you have to get around.
You know that, like, it's like as you level up, the game gets harder.
Exactly.
You know, it requires new skills. It requires a different level of preparation and a different level of execution. So where you are right now is the easiest things will ever be. Things are only gonna get harder, and that's the best part, bro. The game just gets harder as you play. You know, I like that.
That's real shit. So that's what we got for y'all today, man. Another speak on it. Got Maxwell.
Let me drop one more thing. Something that's been on my mind lately. Like a question I ask myself all the time is, what are you capable of? And it's a question that can scare you if you write it out. But like thinking about what you are capable of helps you understand that you are capable of anything, and that the only thing that can limit your capability is your own limitations in your own mind. And so, like, when you don't give yourself limitations, you are capable of doing anything that you set your mind to, bro. And I truly, fundamentally believe that. And that's, like, my whole entire message. And so, like, ask yourself, what are you capable of? And go after those dreams and take those swings. Worst comes to worst, you become a better version of yourself. So, like, that's all I have to say, bro. Thank you so much, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What are you capable of, man? You heard it, You heard him, man. Make sure you tap in, stay connected. Make sure you get some of his dress shirts, man, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know, like, it's for the dates and it's for the
for the game. Yeah, it's for the game, bro. It's for the game in all aspects.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dress shirts are P. They player. You know what I'm saying? They player. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe, go share with somebody, man. This is how we doing it, man. This is how we gonna end it, man. Love and peace.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. That was fire.